Hi, welcome to BohoMystic. My name is Marinelly, and welcome to December 2025's Fire Sign readings. But before we get started, I wanted to introduce two decks that I created that will be going up on the TikTok shop this upcoming week, actually. And I'm really proud of them, and I thought, why not just show them to you now, since I will be using them in the readings. So let's start with one that I've actually used the sample deck for quite some time now, and that's the Sunlit Path. It is a drawer box deck. It is a hefty 100 card deck. It is a tarot runic oracle deck, and I love it. This is it. It is black matte edging. It has matte finish. It shuffles like a dream, and it bends amazingly. It shuffles so well. So this is the Sunlit Path. It will be up on my TikTok shop along with the website, and eventually the Etsy shop will be up too, but it will first be on the TikTok shop. Now, the next deck I want to introduce is my baby. It's something that, they both are, they all are. I have 4 decks that are coming out. I've been working on them and waiting to have them in my hands for close to 2 years. So this one though is very special because it combines my love of cartomancy but with charms, which is in many ways my first true love. So this is charm scripted paper charms. I call them charm scripts. And it is another 100 card deck. This really is an answer to having traveled with charms in the past and not having the best experiences with them, especially through security. I also wanted to give every mystic, every reader out there, an opportunity to enjoy what charms provide. And as I said in my air signs reading, charms are magic for me. They have made me the reader that I am today. I truly believe it's my shorthand with the universe, with source. And it pulls from my experiences. It pulls from my memories. It connects me in a way that no other divination tool does for me. So I know many people have sensitivities to textures, metals, plastics, and of course sound. And I truly understand that. So I think that this really gives and allows people to enjoy the magic and the charm of charms in card form. And instead of creating a separate glossary and guidebook, I decided to add the meanings on the cards to make it easier for you, the reader, and especially in readings, especially if you do readings for other people, and not have to purchase another book that has, a comprehensive guide to the understanding and meanings of these charms. While I did give several inclusive keywords, I do think this is definitely cursory. This is definitely to get you started, but start pulling from your own life. I think this will be a really great intuitive exercise for people because you'll be able to see what comes forward. What does it remind you of? Because that is how I think Spirit talks and Spirit connects with you. And I think that is sometimes lost in translation. I made this deck playing card size because first and foremost, I have smaller hands and it's a hefty deck. So if I went any smaller, I wouldn't be able to shuffle the 100 cards. And if I went any bigger, it would just not be, it didn't give me the charm feel. So I made them also a linen finish as the other cards. They bend, and I can actually shuffle this 100 card deck with my hands. So that for me is a huge test. I will be using this deck in the reading, so you will see them, but I also am going to do a separate video on YouTube regarding this deck. So you will see many more cards, of course, and we'll get more in depth of the creation of this deck and also my thoughts on it. So this is charm scripted, paper charms, charm scripts for all of you. I just wanted to thank each and every one of you for your support on this channel. If you liked the video, I would really appreciate a like, and definitely subscribe if you haven't in the past. Okay, so let's get on to the readings. So we're looking at Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Hi Aries, welcome to your reading. I pre-pulled your oracles. I haven't done your tarot yet. I thought I'd do that on camera. All right, Aries. I hope that you guys are doing well. If you're celebrating the holidays in the month of December, I wish you a safe and happy holiday and all the love from my home to yours. When I started pulling all the decks for the readings, I was getting pulled in so many different directions. I ended up getting the vice versa tarot. I felt like the fire signs are feeling a little scattered. I was feeling scattered. Interesting. For Aries, please, Spirit. I'll do a short meditation after I get your cards. Okay. All right. For Aries, please, Spirit. Okay, Aries. What I saw was really interesting. So I'm just going to tell you. I immediately got a person sitting, but it became, the chair was like stone. It was bigger and bigger. And it wasn't like a king or queen. I'm like, okay, this is like a statue. And all of a sudden I heard Abraham Lincoln, Honest Abe. And it was Abraham Lincoln sitting in his huge stone chair throne in Washington, D.C. So that may be a true synchronicity for someone. But the fact that I heard Honest Abe was very interesting. So I don't know if honesty or being true or authentic is going to be something for you, Aries. So I tried going in further and seeing, is there anything else? Because I don't have a lot of association with that in my mind. And then it pulled me in further, and then I saw a male figure, definitely an emperor or a king, sitting in his throne. And alone, by the way, and it looked like a stone throne also. And he was wearing the metal, his metal outfit, like of a knight, like why can't I think of the word? He was fully dressed in his armor, but sitting in his throne and by himself. And then the chair was being moved, or the throne was being moved with him in it. Like as though you had a hard-won battle. And there's a little bit of similarity of that in the Aquarius reading, if that's something, or if that's a placement that's pretty prominent in your reading, you may want to take a look at that. But yeah. So he was on his throne, but in his armor, and hadn't taken it off yet. But it was like a rest well earned. Or that, again, he came back from fighting his battle and he's done. But it's interesting because I did get Emperor, and of course you're Aries, so that's definitely you. But I did get the fact, I focused on the fact that it was an emperor who was doing the fighting, was in the fighting. He didn't send his troops out or send out his knights or his cavalry, right? He himself was part of the battle. So he led his own battle, which is really interesting. So I wonder what's going on with you. Are we looking at... That's very interesting, Aries. What did I say about feeling like the fire signs were scattered? Maybe the month of December really is about pulling in, reserving, or filling up your reserves again. trying to preserve some sort of peace. If you celebrate the holidays, that definitely would fit. And if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, you are in the descent of our seasons. And that's usually when we pull in, right? We pull in our reserves. We pull in within ourselves. We allow ourselves to go dark to be able to rise again in the spring. So maybe a lot of you are feeling that way, especially with the weather turning. I know I am. I'm kind of battling a cold right now. So if I have to stop and cough and sneeze like I did before, I will. All right, well, let's take a look at your cards then. I added the same 2 cards I did for the air signs. I think I'm going to do that for all the elements. One love card to just get an idea of where your heart is or your relationships are, and an angel card so that you can have an angel that you can call upon, an angel that you can pray to if that's something that you do, or just their attributes to focus on during the month of December. So let's take a look at your cards. All right. And we did get some of the charm scripts in here. As I mentioned before, if you just jumped to this part, I did introduce 2 decks that I created, and I did a little intro in the beginning of this video. So you may want to take a look at that. They're going to be available this upcoming week on my TikTok shop. So we are starting out with fish. Excellent. Let me get my glasses so I can read all this to you. So we are looking at fish, mermaid, and snowman. Very interesting. So with fish, we have abundance, financial success, school, cohort, movement, going with the flow, peaceful, intuition, and teach a man to fish. Maybe that's what you were doing as the emperor. You were teaching and fighting right alongside of your army. I like the school and cohort. Maybe a lot of you are teachers or the education system taking time off or having time off for the holidays like your students, right? So then we have mermaid, shapeshifter, duality, inner depths, delving into the unknown, allure, beauty, rebellion and freedom, and healing emotional trauma. And then we have snowman, fleeting in nature, resilient in the cold, inner child nostalgia, play, imagination, magically coming to life in winter. Well, we'll see how these fit in with your reading. I think this is for a lot of you coming into the holiday season and being on vacation. If you're parents, having your children home for vacation, and how fleeting in nature it truly is. You know, that emperor could be taking a break from his job. Of course, I say emperor and his because I'm referring to the energy of the card. It does not necessarily mean that it is a female or a male specifically. But there is an element of deciding and pulling back, I believe, from your divine masculine energy. I did the battle, I fought the battle, I won the battle, I believe, especially with fish. And now it's going with the flow and pulling back your energy and reserves to be on vacation time, to be on at home with the kids, resting, staying warm and cozy, right? Because vacation can feel like it's fleeting in nature, especially when, well, I mean, if you're an American, it's difficult to take time off. You may accrue a lot of time off, but you can't take it. It depends on the work ethics and also what's expected of you. So that is something that I can see being at play here. So It may feel very fleeting in nature, this time off, this time for recuperation, for this time of rejuvenation, of renewal. Yeah. So let's see what let's see what else the cards say. Your Moonology card is first quarter moon in Libra. There's the balance. Keep your heart open. We have water pig, being in the flow. How interesting is that, especially with the fish and the mermaid? You are being asked to go with the flow. Take off your armor. Engage in the holidays if that's what you're doing. But engage in the descent into yourself, into your inner sanctum, into you, right? Maybe now it's time for self-care. Maybe it's time to pour some love and have self-reflection too. Pigs are also very financially prosperous, or a sign of prosperity. And so are fish. Maybe you've gotten a bonus. Maybe you will be getting a bonus. Maybe you'll hit your numbers at work. Maybe you will get a very nice evaluation. And you can sit back and enjoy those boons. But there's also a prosperity and abundance when it comes to being surrounded by your family, by your loved ones, by those that nourish you. Abundance is so many things for so many people. And I think that you're going to feel, Aries, very abundant this month. Gratitude. Exactly. You're going to feel the gratitude. And if you're an American, you will be celebrating Thanksgiving a week from when I'm filming this. So that usually is our start of the holidays going into the December month. So there will be a lot. I think this is either a call for you to acknowledge and for you to take in your abundance, and or this is what you will be doing. And for many of you, it may feel very fleeting in nature, especially if you are not accustomed or you don't necessarily have, I just saw the card, don't necessarily have your family around you all the time. It's very fleeting, right? To have family functions at times and only have a little sliver of time to enjoy true quality time with them. The Emperor. Here you are, hun, and this is you in my vision. How absolutely lovely. This is also taking a moment. You know, I'm getting this is also a moment. This is also you taking a moment and showing yourself gratitude for all your hard work and everything that you do to push yourself forward in this world, to create the life that you want, to be an example to others, because I truly feel you are, especially with the fish and teaching a man to fish. Like, I can see that you have worked very hard, that you're a diligent person and you're trying to be and act in an ethical way in your life. I feel that. It's like that ethical leadership. And I think that you deserve self-acknowledgement. If no one else acknowledges you, you can do that for yourself. I'm doing it. Very well done. How nice is this? And then your love card is a problem card, okay? Cynicism, yeah. And that's what keep your heart open. How nice is that? And I say nice because it's really clear what Spirit's saying. You know, maybe it's time for you to be open to being happy, to laughing, to going with the flow. This resonates a lot with the Aquarius reading. Different different avenues to getting kind of to the same place. You know, this is you being asked to look at those around you and the experiences that you will be involved in December with an open heart, with a less cynical eye, with a more forgiving eye, less judgment. Tap into a more carefree attitude. And the angel card, these names, oh, you have 2. Wow, you're the first one that's ever had 2. Okay, the names are very difficult to pronounce, so I will do my best. But number 5, Mahasya. Mahasaya. There we go. Mahasaya. Rectification of errors. How interesting is that? Reforms. Reestablishes divine order. Rectifies what is growing crooked before it materializes. Ooh, this may be, I said forgiveness. This may be also a time of reconciliation with those around you. Bringing people into the fold and not keeping them out of the fold. Facilitates learning. What did I say about the student and cohort? The school and the cohort. You know, I think a lot of you may be educators. Success in exams. Admittance into an initiatic school. Dream analysis. Decodes everyday signs. Aptitude for initiatic science. Improvement of one's character. A beautiful, happy life. How funny is that? Yeah, I think this is touching upon so many Aries out there. This is going to resonate in so many ways. And I always say that, you know, when you're reading for a collective, you're giving them themes. You're giving them an outline of where source and spirit's sort of guiding you. It's going to flesh out in different ways in everybody's life. But I have to say, I can see here you being asked to soften. I think that's the word, Aries. I think the Emperor is being asked to soften in the month of December. So if this is you having quite a bit of time off, if you're an educator and you're home with the kids or home in the family or home with the family, this may be you just taking some time off. This may be you having achieved a really big thing at work or at school, right? Finished your exams. And now it's a break for you, or you need a break because of all that hard work and toiling. Sometimes when you're responsible for other people, it's so nice to just stop and just pull away and focus on yourself and your own needs. And even if that is truly fleeting in nature and it's only a week, or if it's only a few days, or it's having a couple days before your season at work starts again, take it. But there is something here about don't languish in the stress that you've been under. Pull yourself out of there, because you have a short window of a respite. Yeah. And you may find yourself not so scheduled or regimented, especially with this water pig being in the flow and with mermaid. It's kind of shifting, right? Being the mermaid, it's shifting from water to land or land to water. I would say land to water. It's becoming the mermaid now. Allowing yourself to unfurl your tail and go swim. It's finding joy not having every hour or day of the week spoken for. It's accepting invitations. It's leaving the bah humbugness at the door. It's believing in magic and allowing magic to occur around you. That's what I just got. That's beautiful. Not being so buttoned up and strict with your time and your words and your love and all of that. It's celebrating life. The other angel you have is number 19, which is a 10. We're going into year 10 in January. Expansive intelligence. Oh, the name. Luvia, depending on how, I guess it's said. We're looking at expansive intelligence, memory of past life, memory of past lives, cosmic memory, gateway to memory, mastery of feelings through reason, great patience, communication, temperament, modesty, generous mentality. Yeah. Enables us to bear adversity with patience and acceptance, ready to help those in need. And that's under gratitude. This may be you taking a moment of true gratitude for what you've overcome, for what your family has overcome, for what generations before you have overcome. Celebrating and reliving traditions that have survived throughout the generations, that are still relevant and beautiful to you. Not eschewing your past hurts and past cords and attachments, but having the gratitude and introspection of knowing that you've overcome them and have integrated them. And there is about communicative temperament, modesty, generous mentality. There is something about being generous with others, kind to others, and not poo-pooing on people. I don't know what that's on. Like, the cynicism, that is a very specific word for me, and I understand it so well in so many ways. If you don't have something kind to say, or if something generous or kind does not come to the forefront of your mind immediately, refrain from saying it, to be honest. Little tough love. Let yourself soften. Let yourself see the magic in the everyday. That's what it is. Let yourself soften. Maybe see things through the eyes of a child, through the eyes of someone who hasn't been jaded, through the eyes of someone who has so much hope, because it's so magical and so beautiful, and that's the quickest way to fill up your tank, to keep your reserves from being depleted. At least I think so. So let's take a look at your tarot cards. Under Emperor, we have the Three of Wands. And this is him looking out, not at you. Interesting. Not at him, it's him looking out. So it's about you looking out, you moving towards what's out there. It's also you focusing on the world out there. Because what did I say in the beginning? My vision was of Abe Lincoln alone. It was of you, of the Emperor alone, being moved through time and space, but alone. This looks like a globe. It's like you moving out and you including others, you going towards others, because it is the Three of Wands. It's fulfilling those plans that you made and are going to make for the month of December, and actually going to them. This is not you accepting. This is you actually going towards them. This is you doing things that support others. Because in turn, it's going to warm your heart. It's going to warm your heart. I know it. I feel it. It's about fairness. It's about, I think it is about ethical leadership. If some of you are managers or people leaders, own your own business, where you have a direct influence on others, this is about you showcasing ethical leadership, treating others how you want to be treated, respecting their needs and their rights like you would yourself, like you would for yourself. There is something about that here, hon. This may even be you serving the underserved. You working or donating your time, resources to the underserved during the month of December. And how that in turn is such a gift to yourself. We then have the Knight of Pentacles. And he is looking at his resources instead of out and moving towards building those resources. And it's all green, like he's achieved it. And maybe this is you acknowledging that you've achieved goals and successes. And it's time for a timeout. That it doesn't have to be go, 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 right? The Knight of Pentacles is slow moving, diligent, practice. But it's one step at a time, making sure things are done right and well. And maybe that's what you're now going to do with what you've earned, what you've achieved. But I truly feel like this is a call for you to slow down. Slow down, my Emperor. Slow down. The Knight of Swords. Exactly. I think this is a call for you to slow down. Absolutely. And remember, in the Pentacle suit, you are trying to build a harmonious, long-lasting legacy. And the Pentacle suit not only encompasses financial wealth, but it encompasses your health. It encompasses your family. It encompasses the physical form of everything and anything in this world. It encompasses animals. It encompasses Mother Gaia. It encompasses everything, form and matter. And there is, I think, a call to honor that. Yeah, ethical leadership. Holy moly, that's what keeps coming to me. It's about not bulldozing through this month and forcing your way through. You've done that already, and you were successful. It's slowing down and moving forward with respect, love, generosity for others, but for yourself, because you're extremely deserving of it. Yeah. It definitely is two-pronged. It is cyclical. What you put out, it's karma being built in the month of December. I think that you need to be cognizant of what you're putting out, because that's what you're taking in. I think that you're going to realize that. I think that you're going to be in a moment of true gratitude, and just remember to go with the flow. Let yourself be heart-led, right? With the water, the cup suit. Let yourself be heart-led first and foremost in the month of December. Well, that's what I'm seeing for you, my dear Aries. I send you such a big hug. Enjoy your month. And take time to celebrate you and your achievements also. All my love. Bye. Hi, Leo. Welcome to your reading. I actually didn't do your tarot yet. I'm going to do that on camera. I hope that you guys are well. As I told Aries, you know, when I started pulling cards out for you, I felt very, I don't know, discombobulated. I felt very, like I was being pulled in a lot of directions. A little scattered. I think that's the word I use. And I feel like that's how the fire signs may be feeling a bit. So, You've had some really nice readings recently. It's the culmination of the year. If you do celebrate the holidays in December, I send you my love from my home to yours, and I hope that you have a safe and very happy holiday. So let's take a look at what Spirit has in store for you, and I will do a small meditation afterwards. I do have a cold, so I will have to break for sneezing and all that. All right. For Leo, please. Leo, please, Spirit. All right. Anything else? Bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Wands. Holy moly. Nice. This is the vice versa tarot. So if you look at this side, this is him. This is from his perspective. I've always felt this side is his internal recognition of success. Him feeling, I don't know, resplendent. Because if you look at this side, it's darker. And you have all these people cheering him on who fought the battle with him. So this is very close to the ending of the battle, or they're still like in the throes of de-escalating from the battle. Success hard-earned, absolutely. But this is not you yet. You haven't been able to bask in it. You haven't been able to decompress yet. And this is decompression, and this is feeling in your glory. And that's fantastic. I do hope that's what December is like for you, hon. The colors make me feel alive. Warm, toasty. Like you are one with your flames. Very nice. So let me take a look at what I can see for you, hun. For Leo, please. For Leo. Okay, Leo. What I saw was a person, what seemed to be a man, by the shape of the body, but I didn't see him at all, in a black robe, walking on a dirt path up kind of like a hill into the horizon by himself. Maybe kind of going into hermit mode, but I heard like the Eight of Cups. That's what I heard. It was a person who was ready to go on his own. I didn't feel sadness. I didn't feel like he was running away from anything at all. It felt like it was time for him to leave, and he left. Yeah. To his next adventure, to the next step of the journey. And I wonder if that's you, right? You've done what you've had to do. You've had your successes, or you've done everything that was asked of you. And knowing who you are now and feeling content, or feeling enlightened enough to go to the next step on your journey. Very interesting. Underneath that, we have the Seven of Cups. Yeah. Look at that. This side shows the enlightenment of what to choose, in my opinion. This side is him choosing and wondering, what is it to choose? What do I go? Like, where do I go? What do I do? And I feel like that person on that path may not even know where they're going, but they're going. Because you have faith and trust that what's for you is out there, not behind you anymore. Very interesting. Oh, the Tower. And this is a tower that's happened. This is the Tower happening. This tower has already happened. This is from an aftermath of a tower and you overcoming a tower. You know, with all these transits we just had astrologically, you may have had a tower and overcome a tower, or in the midst of overcoming a tower. And now it's you accepting that tower and moving forward. Yeah, wow, I can keep going. We have the King of Swords. Yeah, it's you. Something made you realize that where you are emotionally, physically, spiritually, has run its course. You've taken and received everything you could from it. And it's time for you to move on. There is a true acceptance here. The aftermath of a tower to the Seven of Cups to this. And I think this is your month of December. I think this is your month of December. Wow. Beautiful. Okay, let's take a look at your cards. Let's start with the charms. This is from my deck that I introduced in the beginning of this video. If you haven't seen that, you should. I introduced 2 decks that I created, and this is one of them. This is Charm Scripted Paper Charms. All right, let's see what we have. The letter, male, and Ankh. I think you realize you're not broken, or that you have the capacity to heal. You could have had a dark night of the soul. Big time. Especially with Ankh. This is going into the depths of despair, in my opinion, right now. And having nowhere to go but down. And deciding and realizing, and I don't even want to say accepting. It's realizing it didn't break you. You can overcome this. You can survive this. And it's rising up like a phoenix once again. Wow, Leo. I think even being wary of what's out there You're doing it. Hats off to you. It's a very difficult thing to do. Absolutely difficult. With letter, we have announcement, contract, love letter, mail, snail or otherwise, official news, note, invitation, incoming information. And Ankh. Immortality, energy cannot be made nor destroyed. Ancient Egyptian, a protection amulet, key of life and eternity. Maybe you guys have accepted an invitation. Maybe you were approached with a new living arrangement. Maybe someone has reached out to you and offered you help, offered you a hand, knowing what you've gone through, or thinking that you need a break from your life, and you've decided to go in that direction. I could see that. Your Moonology cards, you have two. A fiery climax approaches. Full moon in Aries. Wow. I'm getting, is this the Tower? I think you may be dealing with the remnants of the Tower. You already have the aftermath of the Tower, but I think you may be dealing with the fallout of the Tower still. You have adjustments are required with the third quarter moon. Approaching the full moon. I think that you're going to receive news. Maybe that's your escape route, the news that comes from this. Maybe you will receive the news that you need in order for you to move forward. Right? The key. Maybe you'll be receiving, and I just saw this and I hit this with my hand, and it's a key. How funny is that? Like as though my ring hit it. Like Spirit saying, hey, like you're going to receive the key out of this. Interesting. Then we have Metal Rat, which is number 37, which is 10. Year 10 is coming up in 2026. So this could be taking you into January. Metal Rat, be aware of projection. Maybe this is you lashing out. Be careful of lashing out. If you feel, what did I say, feeling scattered, you may feel a little bit scattered still. You may feel a little discombobulated, like we said in the beginning. You've been thrown for a loop, and you're doing really well at finding your footing, finding ground, right? But it's funny, I'm getting, sometimes when you're spinning, right, out of control, or you kind of grab at whatever you can. And what did I say about someone reaching their hand out to you and you pulling them down? Or you taking their hand, their help? Okay, follow me. When you're spinning out of control sometimes, or you're feeling dizzy, or you don't have sure footing, you kind of grab for anything that's there. But what can happen is that you can pull down people to your level. You can bring them down. They can fall with you. And just be careful that you're not doing that. Don't lump other people in with maybe the attributes of another person that you don't admire or that caused you harm. You say, don't judge others by your wounding or by how others have wounded you. There's something there. I'm trying to pick up. We'll come back to this. Stag spirit. Call upon or embody stag spirit. I made these very specifically that way, because I think that we can harness the energy of deities, of the fae, of the supernatural, the otherworldly, and of animal spirits. Absolutely. So spiritual omen, protection, regeneration, traveler between realms. I want to say it's the regeneration. It's like having been burnt, but being able to regrow your horns, regrow your stamina, shedding like a snake. What did I say? Like what didn't destroy you is making you stronger. And I think you're realizing that, or you will have realized, to be honest. Again, I think that you must have had a difficult November in some way, or you will be having a difficult ending going into December. Be open to communication. If you're here, I'd hazard guess that you are spiritual in nature, or that you believe or have been feeling a connection to the universe, a connection to source, however you want to see it and feel it and project it in your life. The universe speaks. Energy is around you. You are energy. You are energy. You are the energy that is around you also. And I think that you are being asked to straighten those antennas and listen, feel, see what your instincts are telling you. Be open to speaking to your higher self. I think others may need you, and maybe that's why you may feel pushed and pulled. Like you need to take care of yourself, but others need you too. With this fiery climax approaches, and we are coming up into the holiday season, and you have that with adjustments are needed, and the metal rat with be aware of projections. There's a call for temperance. There's a call for pulling away from all the fire, Leo, right? Don't leave the world burning behind you. You may feel comfortable in your fire, but not everybody else does. That's interesting. Realizing when to take a step back and when to give a situation gas. Because people's emotions run really high in the holidays. And they tend to be much more sensitive. And then we also tend to be around people that we're not usually around. We're not accustomed to having to share our inner spaces, our inner sanctums with other people as often necessarily. So you may feel the push and pull of other people's demands on you while trying to survive whatever situation you're surviving. And that can push anyone to an edge. And I think that's when you're being asked to pull back, temper yourself, slow down, not react, give grace. And then we have, these are love cards. I included a love card and an angel card in each deck, in each reading, just to get an idea of where you are emotionally and in your relationships. And this one is a luck card. And the word is orgasm here, with adjustments are required. There is luck in ecstasy. So I think if you play your cards right and you temper your interactions with others, you will find ways to satisfy your needs, satisfy your interpersonal needs, but not only interpersonal needs, I think you're going to satisfy your internal needs. And find other ways to release your emotional, your emotional needs maybe. Because sometimes when we stay so pent up emotionally, and or physically, we can react and lash out because we're not being given the permission to put our needs first. So if this is working out physically, if this is speaking your feelings to a trusted advisor, a therapist, if this is you taking a run to cool off, if this is you allowing yourself to love and be loved in a healthy way, those are opportunities for you to have that type of release so that you can be more cordial with everyone else. And then this is the angel, number 55. Interesting. Again, number 10. And I thought you had the 10. Oh, and the metal rat was 10 too. This is definitely taking you through the month of December into 2026 in January. The name of this angel is difficult to say. Mebahia or Mebahia. Intellectual lucidity. Don't let your mind be clouded. Clarity of ideas that allow goodness and kindness. Understanding through the senses. Yeah, this may be you opening up and allowing love in your life. Even when you think you don't have time for it, I think that you're going to need emotional and physical support during the month of December. Adjusts and regulates desires. Harmonization of behavior. Oh my goodness. This is amazing. Sense of duty and responsibility. Opens the heart with discernment. Consolation born through understanding. Communicates the mystery of morality to the intellect. How interesting, because this card is a difficult one to discuss in a collective reading. I think I did pretty well because it means much more than what we just take it to mean. And we are also physical human beings. We're physical beings. We're meant to experience life in all its glory. And I will not shy away from that. Example of morality, exemplary behavior and commitment, capacity to rectify on the collective level. I'm getting, if you are experiencing or have experienced a really difficult moment in your life, right? A tower moment, an ending, an epiphany and enlightenment. You may find yourself pulling away and withholding affection from others. This can be from a romantic partner, but this can be emotionally withdrawing, period, from those in your life. And that leaves you starving for affection. And that's done through self-sabotage, punishing ourselves at times without even knowing that we're punishing ourselves for what's happened in our lives. And I think there's a call here to to keep an eye on that, to push through that tendency maybe of pushing others away. Because this month, because I think you're going to need, Leo, this month, love and affection, more than you probably have in a while. And yes, it can be uncomfortable after withholding from your partner, withholding from others, going to them and showing them, right? Giving them the signals that you need more from them and that you're ready for more from their relationship. It's uncomfortable. Yeah, you still do it. I do uncomfortable things all the time. Things that make my teeth itch. And I do it because I've learned that the only one that gets hurt and the only one that stays unsatisfied and the only one that stays on the sideline is me. And I love myself too much and I respect myself too much today to punish myself that way. This is very personal. And I think that maybe this may apply to a lot of you. So love yourself. Put yourself first. See your value. See and grow your confidence. And go towards what you need to fill that heart. Change. Maybe that's what you're doing. Going down a different path. Changing the status quo of a romantic relationship. Changing the status quo of your relationship with loved ones, with family, with friends that you consider family. Putting yourself out there emotionally, even if you're going to potentially be rejected. I'm going to say it because, of course, there's a potential for that. But guess what? Eventually, you won't be by someone else. And the holiday season can be very sad and lonely. And I think this is a call for you to not be sad or lonely. Maybe this is actually saying, don't go down that road. How funny is that? After everything, that things can be fixed and reconciled within your home, within your environment, with those that you have in your life today. That's for someone. Maybe the choice is not one of those cups out there. It's the cup that you're in right now. Redesign your life now. And when you have those deep conversations, when you do reach out, be careful of the pointing of fingers. Well, you didn't do this. I didn't do this. There has to be a moment where the desire for reconciliation and the desire for a healthy relationship moving forward has to be put first. And if you can work and agree to that first, then things will unfold in a respectful manner. Wow, I didn't think this was going to go into this direction. Maybe others in your life, including your romantic partner or those in your family, have no idea of how you're feeling and that you want out, or that you need something different, or that you feel exhausted with the way things are now. And by allowing them in, right, the inner sanctum, like I said before, you're then giving them an opportunity to fight for you, to rectify things. And to clear things up. And it could be both ways. It's like meeting at the table and having that conversation before you leave, before you walk away fully emotionally, if not physically, from a relationship. Under Beware of Projection, we have the Ten of Wands. Yeah, if you look at this, he is walking with those Ten of Wands, right, from a decayed city. So he has not arrived. He's taking what he could from this scene, and he's going towards, right, something. But this is him arriving to the new place, and this is him walking away from something that is done, decayed. And that's under yeah, I can see this. This is under Beware of Projection. Maybe you think that all is lost, and it really isn't all lost. But you feel like you've carried and are carrying such a burden. The heaviness of a situation that necessarily isn't seen that way by others. I think it's time for you to have conversations. I think it's time for you to sit down and show all your cards regarding something. And if you have experienced a tower moment and haven't discussed it with anyone and haven't worked your way through it with others, with those that matter in your life, it's not with every person out there. It's with those that are invested in your life and you're invested in theirs. They deserve an opportunity to know what's going on and how you feel. And then you make the decision, right? You make the educated decision of, is this for you or is this not? What needs to change and what steps can we do and take for those changes? Yeah. And last card we have Five of Swords and the Stag Spirit. I think this is about the regeneration and reconciliation. I do. You may be in a situation where you have clocked a situation where someone has done something to you, or that someone is winning when you're failing, when you're losing, where someone has gotten one over on you. Or you may feel that something's really not fair. And it may be all of those things, absolutely. But it may not necessarily be the way that you think it is. You may feel that the person that you're withholding from, or the people that you're withholding emotionally from, or even physically from in a relationship, is perfectly fine with that situation, and that they don't really care, and that they potentially are finding happiness somewhere else, and that your loss, like the loss of you, is not influencing or affecting them. And that may not be the case at all. They may be missing you and needing you. They just don't know how to say it either. So I think this is about putting the swords down. Again, coming to a table, coming head to head and having these conversations before you start walking away. And yes, that may be where you are going to continue heading anyway. Maybe you should head in that direction. I don't know. But what I do know is that working with truth and working with light and inviting light into a situation, relationship in your life becomes a channel for love and working with love. People deserve respect. People deserve honesty. especially those that you are invested in and they're invested in you. There is, and I'm going to say it, there is a feeling for some in the collective that are working solo when they should be working in a relationship. And a lot of you may feel that too much time has gone by. Too many things have happened to even try. And I want to say, no, I don't think so. I think there's a lot of self-deception and self-sabotage, and that comes from unworthiness, a feeling of unworthiness. And I think that you're going to and I ask that you allow yourself to be vulnerable so that you can make a decision with all the facts, so that when you move forward in your life on that next step in your journey, you don't look back wondering what if. Because don't give yourself another reason to chastise yourself. Don't. You are a magnificent, confident, successful, viable, worthy person. You deserve to be loved, and you deserve to love. If where you are can't be that for you, you will find it, right? With the stag spirit. And where you are may be exactly where you should be. And you may find that to be the case once you open up and allow others in. I think December is going to be a lot of emotional ups and downs for you. But I think in the end, you're going to find yourself and you're going to blossom into a new you. I really do. I feel it. I feel that you are on the verge of another elevation, maybe even activation spiritually. So all my love, Leo, always. Bye. Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading. I hope that you guys are doing well. As I told the other fire signs, I did not pull your tarot. I'm going to do that now here on camera. As I've told the other fire signs, when I was pulling the decks, I felt like you guys were scattered. I felt scattered. I felt the word I used, I think, for Leo was discombobulated. I think that you guys have been through a lot. I feel a little jittery, actually, in your energy right now. I will do a little meditation, as I do with all my readings for the signs, just to get an idea of where you are, what comes to me, see what the universe has in store for you, or what they want you to know. All right, for my dear Sagittarius, what are we looking at? Any tarot, please, Spirit? This is the vice versa tarot. It's been really interesting and very enlightening. For Sagittarius, please, Spirit. One card. Bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Pentacles. No, Knight of Pentacles. How funny is that? And this is him looking out versus him looking at the pentacle in green, in greenery, right? Having achieved that pentacle. This is him looking out of how is he going to take that pentacle and create the world. There's a mountain range in front of him, but there's a rose on his back. It's like the love within him is flourishing for him to go and plant that seed and learn how to grow his garden. No matter what is in front of him, there's joy and beauty in the horizon for him to fill that cornucopia. There's a lot of hope here for the month of December. It's nice. And it's going to be your season, my dear Sagittarius. So happy birthday. Happy birthday. Underneath that, we have the Justice card. Interesting. We have the Justice card with the perspective of looking at her, what she's looking at her back. There is a butterfly here with her sword down here. So she's no longer holding her sword. So whereas she's having the download, the epiphany, the enactment of justice is what I'm picking up. Justice has been served or has been delayed. It's being deliberated on. Yeah, like she's on a break at lunch. Never seen it that way before, but that's exactly what I'm seeing. And then we have the Emperor at his back. Looking out at the world that is his. I just got your feeling, you feel like maybe there's justice delayed and you're waiting for some kind of official, like someone is holding up the justice. You're waiting for Lady Justice to get back from her break and pronounce justice or balance things out. You're waiting to hear something in the month of December. This definitely for me right here can be the justice system. Someone may be waiting for justice to be played out in the justice system. This is also very governmental, bureaucracy. Something is being held up for you. That's interesting. Let me know if that resonates with anyone out there. Okie dokie. I'm gonna do a small meditation just to see what I get for you, Sagittarius. Let's see. For Sagittarius, please. Wow. That's the first for me. So Sagittarius, I saw a dragon on a turret of a castle. And then I realized, and he's looking down. And I'm like, okay, are you the dragon? You know, fire? You weren't. But then I realized he's also at the top of like the gate of the entrance to the castle. You have to cross a bridge, right? Like you have to cross the moat. So they have to put the drawbridge down. So it's like you can't cross the bridge because he may breathe fire on you. So that goes into what I was thinking of. Maybe you're waiting for someone to tame the dragon and bring him down or tell him, hey, let them pass. And then I thought about like a person with like a watchdog or a dog that tends to be more protection than anything else. and they're barking and kind of aggressive, and you really can't approach the person or the situation, the house, the place, because of the dog. So someone has to call off the dog. That's what I got. Interesting. Okay. So let's take a look at your cards and see what we have. So as I said in the beginning of this video, I did introduce 2 new decks, and if you haven't seen that, I'd go back and take a look at that. It's in the beginning and in the introduction. One of the decks that I introduced, both of them are being used today, but the new one is charm scripted paper charms, and that's what these are, charm scripts. So we have the chair, and we have cactus. This is waiting. You are waiting on something, my dear Sagittarius, or you will be waiting for something. So chair, rest and rejuvenation, contemplation, status, power, authority. And that reminds me of this chair, of Lady Justice, of the Justice card, and the throne of the Emperor. Yeah. Underneath there, we have the 10 of Swords. But the good thing is that it's the resurrection of the 10 swords. So the 10 of Swords has happened to you, for you. The worst is over. Now you're waiting to see what's next. And that goes definitely into all of this waiting. You're waiting to see. I don't foresee or feel anything negative coming through. I mean, we'll take a look at the cards, but I think it's the waiting game for you this month, and no one likes a waiting game, and no one likes, I mean, when you're, maybe there's an impatience. Okay. We also have status, power, authority for the chair, invitation, homage to those that are no longer with us, and lonely. And then with cactus, I love this card. Resilience, adaptable, reserved, boundaries, desert, drought, survival, and thirst. Yeah, I think that you are waiting with bated breath on someone with authority to make a decision that will affect you. I don't know what this is. You definitely, I think, will. I don't think this is something that will catch you by surprise. I don't. I think that you're waiting, right? You're waiting as the Knight of Pentacles to go, to get the okay, to get the green light, to get the flag, to say, all right, go. Take your pentacle now and go on the next voyage, the next part of your adventure. Go sow the seed to have a new life, or start over again. Or maybe you're waiting for a job offer. Maybe someone is off on vacation and you're just waiting, and you don't really know why you haven't heard back from them, but you're just waiting. And it's because it's the holiday season and everybody's gone and no one's at work making decisions and doing what they should be doing. No, I'm joking. It's the holiday season. So maybe that's what you're going to be experiencing. A lot of delay this holiday season, if you celebrate the holidays. And if you do, I just wanted to say, I really hope that you have a wonderful and safe holiday, and all my love from my home to yours. So, all right, let's take a look at the rest of the cards. For Sagittarius, we have moon shining, stay in integrity, don't de-evolve. Yeah, I think this is going to be taxing. You're going to get impatient, and it's going to be frustrating. I do. This is just saying, don't let the frustration get the best of you. Wood horse, live and love joyfully. Yeah, don't allow this to be an excuse for you to be grumpy over the holidays, for you to not enjoy spending time with your family and friends, for you to be a Grinch. I know not everybody celebrates Christmas, but I think that's a reference I think everybody knows. Yeah, these go hand in hand. Absolutely. And how funny. It's the month of December. So I've been tapping into a lot of holiday referencing, and it's just really the emotional volatility that happens over holidays. Everybody in the world can understand that and resonate with that. Holidays bring out the best, but can also bring out the worst in us. And it's really hard. Yeah. So then we have call upon or embody fox spirit. Strategic, playful, adaptable, and swift action. Maybe this is you kind of waiting, and once you get the go ahead or the green light, you may have to quickly respond. How funny is that, right? Things may take a long time to happen, but yet you are expected to respond quickly after a delay. Unfair. But it is what it is. Don't fight it. If you have 24 hours to respond, be ready. Be ready to react and act accordingly for you, whatever decision it is. I don't know. Make sure that you keep an eye out for emails, for forms that need to be filled out by a deadline. I'm getting deadlines, deadlines, deadlines. I literally just heard deadlines, deadlines, deadlines. So if you get a deadline, or if you are told there will be one, keep an eye out for it. And if you don't see it, reach out, because that's going to be something for someone. Absolutely. I get it. Deadlines. I just want to say this also may be, if you are waiting for some kind of settlement, you're waiting for funds, something, financial. This could be you having to be adaptable and strategic about gifts and celebrating the holidays, or traveling, or pulling back in certain areas to be able to afford certain things. I could see that too. So I added a love card and an angel card to each of the readings. This card is a problem card in the love deck, and it says doubt. Number 73. 10. We're going into year 10, 2026. You have number 31, which is a 4 here. Yeah, this is definitely something to do with your home, with your family, with your stability. But I think there's going to be an ending to the situation and a beginning to the situation. This shows doubt of someone's feelings, their emotional feelings for you. I'm going to extrapolate this to include other things, because this is a love card, but this doesn't necessarily have to do with your romantic partner. It's your heart space at this time, or in the month of December. Maybe you may find yourself doubting other people's feelings for you emotionally, period. Maybe you don't feel as celebrated or as seen, especially during the holiday seasons, but also your birthday season, right? You may not feel as celebrated. That's the word I think comes to mind. Don't equate that with truth. The holidays are a lot for most people. The world right now is a lot. So don't jump to the conclusion that you're not worthy of people's love, or that no one loves you, or no one cares about you, or no one thinks you're amazing, because that's not it. And I'm telling you that. I mean, I wouldn't get that so clearly out of nowhere if that's something for someone. That's not it. I think everyone's going through holdups in their lives. And everybody goes through and reacts differently to stressful situations. So yeah, it's having grace. It's having grace for others, right? There's a stay in integrity card here for a reason. It's having grace for others, other people's mistakes, other people's poor usage of words sometimes. And, you know, not internalizing it and making it about you and about your worthiness. Then your angel. Your angel is number 69 with Annuel. I would say Annuel. So these angel cards are an angel that could potentially be with you at this time during the month of December, that you can call upon, pray to if that's something that you do, or embody their attributes. So Annuel is perception of unity. I think so. I think you're being called to keep those closest to you close and not allow the outside stressors affect your unity within your family home and within amongst those that you love. Success in human relationships, ease in communication. Holy moly. This reading has been so succinct, and you, I think, had the least amount of cards of all the readings. You normally have a lot. Practical intelligence, logic, global vision. Again, you know, it's about understanding. It's not having to agree or even like the circumstances of our time. But there is understanding that things are a certain way right now. A lot of the things are out of our control. So don't focus on that and don't allow that to ruin your good time. And what you can control is what you should focus on. Forget about everybody else. Focus on what you can control. Initiator of projects and enterprises dedicated to the service of the divine. Right understanding of the concept of money and exchanges. Maybe you do have to pull back, especially if this is financial and you're waiting on money. You may have to pull back during the holiday season of what you can give and what you can't give, or what you can do and what you can't do. Presence sometimes is more important than a present. Ability to materialize in a right, just, fair manner with respect for each stage. Wow, this card is crazy. Sense of organization, altruism. Yeah, this is understanding that everybody's going through something and giving them the grace for that. Administrator, coordinator, planner, and visionary. Let's hope this angel can help that planner, that emperor, that lady justice follow through on their obligations and their duties in a more succinct and timely manner. Fingers crossed for you, hun. Retailer, banker, industrialist, entrepreneur in the service of the divine. Yeah. There is something here about the bureaucracy, government, something holding up something for you. So you'll know if this resonates for you. Emotional mastery, great leader, inspirator, and citizen of the universe. I think this is going to be a test of your will to push through and showcase that you're not going to allow other people's, I don't know what to say, failings potentially, or other people's schedules or other people's responsibilities affect you emotionally and spiritually during this time in the month of December. You're going to showcase, and I think especially if you're a parent or if you have a lot of family around you or others that you love, that you actually influence, by the way, I think that you're going to take it upon yourself to showcase that even in hard times, you can have a laugh, you can have a hug, you can have a get together, a potluck. Like you can still do things and be together and love one another in spite of hardships. And I think that you're going to showcase that. I truly do. I truly, truly do. And the last card we have here is the King of Swords. And this is what he's looking at. So it's not looking at him. It's this, wow. It's those people taking their seat again and them doing what they have to do. So you're going to receive, they're going to get back in. So that means that you're receiving communication. That chair, okay. That chair will be filled. That chair will be filled by the end of December. Let's do a clarifier on that. You're going to get the news. You're going to get clarification. You're going to get the message, the missive that you should be getting and that you've been waiting on, or that's been holding everything up, right? The wrench will be dislodged. Let's take a look. This is crazy. Judgment. Okay. It's the Judgment card. I think the fact that they're being called forward for the judgment. This, in my opinion, would be that judgment is being given. So I think that you may be called forward in the next step towards getting the judgment that you need. You're going to be called forward. You'll be called forward to plead your case. You'll be called forward to provide what evidence you need, what paperwork you need. Because there's a timidity from these people, right? Because they're also hiding parts of themselves. But you are looking towards this beautiful eagle soaring, towards that freedom, towards justice, towards seeing the bigger truth. So I think that you're going to be called forward and you're going to advance to the next step before judgment. So that's exciting. I don't want this to be a downer, because I think that a lot of you are waiting for the next step. So if you're waiting for that job, you may be finally called in for that second or third interview. Discuss pay, negotiate pay. You may be called to give your side of a story. You may be called to present your evidence. You may be selected for a program, or you may be asked to present more information for your acceptance into a program. I don't know. There's something there. That's excellent. Excellent news. It's like you're going to be allowed to finally speak and plead your case, however which way that is. And that's fantastic. And that is with the King of Swords. So you are going to be pushed to the next step, whatever that next step is for you. Cool. So my dear Sagittarius, I think there's going to be some waiting. There's going to be a call for you to be the bigger person in whatever situation this is. And I think the universe and source is saying, hey, don't let this ruin your month. This is a holding pattern, and you're going to get through it. But again, don't let it ruin your month. You still can laugh. You still can have joy, right? Live and love joyfully. You can still live and love joyfully in spite of all of this, and that you should, and that you have those around you that love you, and don't doubt that. Don't doubt your worthiness. Don't doubt your importance in other people's lives and in your life. Your life has importance. You have importance, even though you may not think it does because of this delay. Don't equate this delay, this whatever this is, to your worthiness. They're two separate things. All right, my dear Sagittarius, I love you so much. Happy holidays. Happy December. All my love always.